How much water do you have in your closet? You would probably tell me none. But what if I told you it takes 700 gallons of water to make an average cotton t-shirt? And if you wear a pair of jeans with that t-shirt, add another 2,100 gallons of water. Wearing leather shoes, that's a whopping 3,600 gallons more. And if you happen to put on some socks and underwear that day, you're wearing half a swimming pool. In the US, each of us has 100 or more pieces of clothing in our closet. And that represents over 100,000 gallons of water. And that's enough drinking water to sustain 500 people for an entire year. But when most of us think about resource preservation and environmental sustainability, we often think about things like cars and planes, deforestation and agriculture, methane and coal. And these are definitively huge contributors to the problem. But for many of us, it's hard to fathom how we as individuals can have any meaningful impact. Most of us aren't directly involved in airplane manufacturing or mining coal or tearing down rainforests, nor are we in charge of those things. And yet we know we need to be doing something. Because if our planet doesn't survive, neither do we. And even with such high stakes, many of us feel stuck. We don't know what to do. We've all been in situations at some point in our lives where we froze. We stood by and we watched something happen and we didn't intervene. And we might even regret that now. But the destruction of our planet can't be one of those things. And right now, we are all witnessing our planet under extreme duress. We all see the headlines about climate change and how our time is running out, and a lot of us feel hopeless and overwhelmed. We just don't know what to do. So here's our challenge. We have to stop standing by, start shifting our mindset, and breaking this into more manageable chunks so we can take smaller actions that can make a big difference. I've worked directly in the textile reuse and recycling industry for many years now. And by textiles, I mean things like cloth and fabrics. And what I've learned is this. More than 20% of all wastewater globally comes from manufacturing textiles. And this wastewater is often filled with chemicals and heavy metals that contaminate our waterways. It's toxic to sea life and often winds up back in our food chain. Textile manufacturing also generates more emissions than all international flights and shipping combined. And these emissions are a significant contributor to climate change. Textiles have a big impact on our environment. A lot of us recycle bottles and cans and paper, but we often don't think about our clothing as a tangible way to help address our climate crisis. But I am 100% certain of one thing. Each of us can do something simple yet meaningful for our planet. And how do I know this? Because we all wear clothes. And unless we're planning to join a nudist colony, that's not going to change. It all starts with us simply walking to our closets and taking a look inside. That's it. Something we do routinely every morning. But this time, I want you to look at your closet a little differently. I want you to see this as an opportunity to recycle water and reduce carbon emissions. The reality is, on average, we only wear 20% of what's in our closet, and the other 80% just sits there. So I have a little bit of an embarrassing admission to make, and that's that I used to have 150 work shirts in my closet. So I clearly had a little thing for shirts, and to be fair, this may have been because when I was 16 and homeless for many months and financially insecure for many years after, I couldn't imagine a life where I had a nice shirt, much less a closet full. So like many of us, when I started earning enough money, got a little carried away. But then I started learning about the impact of fashion and textile manufacturing on the environment. And I had to do some self-reflection. I looked in my closet and realized, I'm not even using all this stuff. What do I really need? What could I put back into the world to be repurposed, recycled, and reused? Every item that gets reused ultimately recycles water, reduces carbon emissions, limits the demand for new items, which saves more water. Reuse is a simple step we can all take today toward preserving our planet. And there are signs that change is beginning to happen. There's growing demand for secondhand clothing. More of us are seeing the value in donating what we don't need and buying what we do need secondhand. Thrifting has been rebranded as fashionable, and it creates goodwill. Each of us can make meaningful change by simply opening our closet doors and taking small but profound steps. Try donating at least 25% of what you have in your closet. And if that causes you to hyperventilate or break out into hives, donate anything you haven't worn in the past year. Donate your nice stuff and support organizations that help people buy affordable secondhand clothing. And before you buy something new, ask yourself, do I really need this? And if you do, ask, can I buy it secondhand? And if you must buy it new, then donate an item or 2 or 3 from your closet as an offset. We have to help save our planet by giving our clothes a second chance, because there will be no second chance for our planet. Thank you.